works out to a total of 3,519,272,000 rand. And I must really indicate that, insufficient as it is, but it is big enough that it requires very good planning. It requires good partnership with our partners in order to ensure that that budget is actually utilized for the purposes for which it is intended. It requires good partnership such that this budget may not be exceeded, but the worst that you can afford with this budget is to allow us to underspend on it, because as I have actually indicated, it's a budget that is actually meant to redress all the weaknesses and the challenges of the past. So this is where we are standing, and we are inviting all of you colleagues to come and claim your share in terms of partnering with us in ensuring that the budget is utilized such that we are able to achieve all the what you call the purposes for which it is intended.
We are holding this partnership in Indaba to share the programs that we have as a department across the programs, with a view to attract more partnerships. But two, we want to acknowledge the work that we are currently doing with a number of partnerships that we have created across the areas in the department. But also to attract more of those that have not yet partnered, but are currently doing some work in the space of education in the province. So we've created this for that purpose. And there are areas where we are really not doing well in the department, especially in terms of the core education outcomes. Your early childhood development is one of those areas where we want to go big. I think the Executive Council has already taken a decision that we must develop the Early Childhood Development Strategy 2023 to 2030, which will ensure that we prepare our 0 to 5 learners to thrive at age 5 and ready for grade 1. Currently, the country has got some challenges in terms of those that are thriving. I think it has got 47% that are thriving at 5 and ready for grade 1. So we need to address those gaps. We need to address the issue of the early childhood development centers. Currently, we have 2,700 that are in good shape out of 5,000 is early childhood development centers. And government alone cannot be able to succeed to provide the adequate and properly structured early childhood development centers without the help of NGOs, NPOs, the business sector, the clergy, and other sectors. The second area of great concern is early reading campaign, because we have learners that cannot read for meaning at grade 10, at grade 4, that is at age 10. They are not reading for meaning. And that is a major problem, not only for Eastern Cape, but for the whole country and the better part of the continent, where our learners in the continent are not reading for meaning. And therefore, we have launched that early grade reading campaign, 2023 to 2030, with a view to address this problem once and for all, so that we lay a very solid foundation at a lower level. Thirdly, is numeracy and literacy programs. We want partnerships around that area, because it's also a biggest problem, even at the foundation phase in the primary education level. The other area is maths and science and technology. Our performance in mathematics is not able to go beyond 50% at matric level. We've been just around 47 at most, and we have not been able to break the 50% mark in terms of the overall percentage pass in mathematics. Same applies to science, physical science. We've not been able to break 60%. And these are high volume learning areas, and are very critical for a number of critical careers that are critical for growing the economy and other areas. Agriculture is one of the areas which we have also identified, given the potential of the Eastern Cape and the fact that we have 17 agricultural high schools in the province. And as of now, we want to ensure that these agricultural high schools, I think 8 of them are in category 2. We want to take that category to category 1, which is the ideal. We have only 2 that are ideal agricultural high schools that have got everything. They have farms. They are ideal. So we want to take that 8 to category 1 and take the 7 that is in category 3 at least to category 1, and have a program that will take us to about 2030 to ensure that these are hubs of agriculture that benefit communities where they are located, that benefit learners. We are already trying to develop partnerships even with business. They are already indicating that they want to use their own partners to introduce agricultural entrepreneurship, which can help learners and also help those that are unemployed in the communities where they are located. And also the introduction of ICT in agriculture is one of the areas where we would like to see partnerships. And I'm happy that one of our schools, best performing schools in Umtata, St. John's College, is already initiating that. They have solicited the support from the presidency, and they were assigned to work with the Department of Science and Technology and Innovation to realize that idea of establishing a 4IR hub in Umtata, which will benefit more than 50 schools. It's not going to just be St. John's College thing, but it's going to cover about 50 schools. And that 50 includes Gobizizwe Agricultural High School, where they want to test this ICT in agriculture. So we have a range of areas where we are also having partnerships, even on ICT generally, of Vodacom and others. They are working with us on a number of things. So I'd like to ensure that we strengthen those and also attract more partners to work with us.
Yes, I think just to add to one thing from what the HOD have said, that many of our partners at the moment, they are of the collaborative nature, but we also are inviting business as well to come and exercise the instruments that the government has in terms of embarking on partnerships, like the Public-Private Partnership Treasury Regulation 16 that we have presented on. It is there as a tool to be used by business as well, to come and present what ideas and groundbreaking ideas that can assist the department to achieve all the goals that the HOD has mentioned.
Fundiswa Sayo of the Xanax Foundation. We are a funding organization that is based in Gauteng that supports education in mathematics and languages in the foundation phase and the senior phase. We've had a long partnership with the Provincial Department of the Eastern Cape, and we are actually currently working in the Amatole East, the Buffalo City, and also the Nelson Mandela districts, implementing projects through our implementation partners in those districts in education. Thank you.
My name is Refilwe Mohale. I come from Northern Platinum Limited, from a mine called Zoner Einde in Limpopo. Our partnership with the Department of Education is in OR Tambo district, primarily in the coastal areas. because of our employees currently and historically that come from the area. We've partnered on infrastructure. We've done 3 schools previously where we delivered classrooms, water, sanitation, and renovation of old infrastructure in Sikwe and Lusikisiki. And this other school is called Mnyezweni in Lusikisiki, but also in Mboji for a grade R facility. Currently, we are in the process of procuring services for yet another 2 schools. These are high schools. Also in the coastal, Kakuba, I think I'm calling it correctly, in Port St. John's and St. Patrick's High School. So we're in the process of drawing up a scope there, but we expect some classes, some sanitation, and so on. Yeah.
And how would you describe your relationship with the department? Is it working okay? Are you fine with it? Is it excellent?
To date, our relationship has been great. I think we've gotten a lot of support. We've gotten a lot of, I would like to even just say that the whole collaborations worked really great. We have different resources that we get in terms of, from Ebisho as well as from the district, which we think that has strengthened over time and has made the whole process seamless for us, which we do appreciate and enjoy.
And today they are here to ask for more partners. And to the prospect partners, what would you say that must they come? And what would you say to attract them at the prospect partners they are looking for?
I would say that I believe that, and I think know them as well, that investing in education is just about the best way that you can invest in the community, in your employees for now and for future generations. I think it makes a lot of difference and a lot of impact over a very long time. So I believe that there is a lot of work to be done in the Eastern Cape. I think that mainly in the rural areas, because it's all well and good to be in the urbans where everybody, has already got such a lot. But I think the people in the rural parts of the Eastern Cape have got a lot of needs, and I think that investment could change a lot of lives for generations to come. So that's why I would encourage.
My name is Luvuyongo Enja. I'm from the Department of Public Works and Infrastructure. We are a partner with the Department of Education as well. As a sector department, our role is to coordinate infrastructure within the province. Now, when you look at that role, you look at a role that aims to support all sector departments within the province in as far as infrastructure is concerned. So our partnership with education primarily is around the building of the schools and providing your technical capacity within the province, which is your engineers, your quantity surveyors, your project managers. So with the skill that Public Works has internally, education gets to save money which would have been paid on professionals that are outside of the sector. Also with that, we are also responsible for monitoring and ensuring that the implementation of infrastructure across the province is done adequately. So our job spans more than just implementing, but we monitor the professionals across the province as well, the contractors across the province, to ensure that the quality of infrastructure that is received on the ground is proper and it is one that adheres to regulations. So when looking at it from a governance point of view, our role or our contribution as a partner ensures that there is effective teaching and learning taking place on the ground. With that effective teaching and learning, we are producing individuals that are whole round from the Eastern Cape that can be able to ensure that Eastern Cape thrives. So yeah, our role is that, and within the infrastructure space as well, we're also looking at stimulating the economy of the Eastern Cape, because some of the critical issues within the Eastern Cape is that our economy is embedded in the infrastructure budgets that we get from national government and provincial government. So infrastructure is a catalyst for economic activity within this province. So looking at it from that perspective, we play that role and strive to make it a point that we move the industry, and industry generates economic spin-offs in creating jobs and ensuring that suppliers and everyone else are manufacturing and are producing for the industry in itself. So I think for me that is in a nutshell the report or
the partnership
the partnership that we have.
Current partnerships. Colleagues, as corporate management, we do not have many partnerships currently. And you will see that we've got partnerships that are mandatory by law that we cannot do without. Like our sister department, I just mentioned the Office of the Premier, which is a coordinating department, your provincial and national treasury, institutions of higher learning, where when employees do their research studies, and then the scholarships and bursaries for students. Then SITAs for our learnerships and internship programs. Then CCMA and labor councils. Zonke get that we can mention for labor-related matters. So these are mandatory partnerships that we are having. But we want to explore a private partnership, because we can see, we can observe that if maybe we can, let's say HR can partner with a private institution, maybe we can copy, not necessarily for funds, just copying and benchmarking best practices so that we can come and practice them in our department. So the presentation Gaga Nandi was very good, because we were learning from what she presented, so that we can have NATI private partnerships. So what we have is some financial institutions where maybe we've got our wellness days and we get some sponsors, but we do not have a regulated relationship that has got MOUs and what. So we still need to be developed in as far as that is concerned. So we feel that this Indaba was very necessary for us, because it was very developmental and fruitful.
Thank you so much, Mama Fikeni. You really saved us time, and I think another round of applause for her. Thank you so much.
I'm going to give you a very quick synopsis of what you are trying to do. This is a government. There's a conception. They have a concept of building office accommodation, schools, hospital, or what. So now they don't have capital, 4.5 billion. To build this school. What do? You come to National Treasury and say, I want to do a PPP. So then together we're going to follow the processes that I'm going to show you. And then we get to a PPP agreement that will be managed by a private company. This private company will raise cash for you, and then will also build for you, and it will manage for you. So for you, what to do, like I told you, if you don't have money to buy a car in cash, you buy in hire purchase, and then you pay installment every month. Good class. That's what the PPP is all about. So when we hear people talking, saying that the PPP is this animal, the PPP comes that, no, you all, maybe all of you are in a PPP with the bank. All of you.
Thank you, Mr. Mkhwanazi. There was a presentation from National Treasury. You actually have heard him on what that regulation is saying with regards to the processes, as much as we would think that is a shorter way of going, but it requires a lot of planning, and I think that's what I took from his presentation. Thank you so much, sir, for the presentation. Another round of applause for him. Okay. I'm handing over to the CFO, and I will take the stand. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Honorable MC, HOD, our distinguished guests, colleagues, good afternoon. Mine is going to be short, Mamukota. It's just a plea for partnership. Just as an introduction, I felt that I must just touch on our vision, mission, and our values, but I'm not going to be long. What I wanted to extract from our vision is the fact that we as the Department of Education, we want to provide opportunities to every young person in the country, especially in the province. What I also want to highlight on our values is that we also want to be a high-performing institution, responsiveness to the needs of the province as well, accountability in everything that we do, most importantly, access of our education system to the young people, and then equity in so doing, and also maintaining our integrity. I can't see more there. And as the introduction is continuing, we are a department that is seeking to award every single child an equal and fair opportunity to an education system. Unfortunately, as a department, it's becoming too increasingly a dream to us and ambition because of the fiscus that is every now and again is leaving our hands because of the challenges of the country. Our mission, as I've already mentioned, that it is very aligned to our vision, and what we also want to do as a department, we actually here to desperately, we are here to hoping that as we are seeking partnership with everyone, we need their support in this endeavor as the department that is trying to achieve.
Okay, over to you, Mr. Baron. Thank you. We're getting now the presentation from NECT. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you to the potential partners and members of the department who have made it to this event this afternoon. It's a very, very historic and important event that we should all support and take extremely seriously. Even as students, when we were talking about change and educational change, and we engaged business people, we used to ask them, if you are part of this system, the old system, how are you going to be able to execute your own plans, even if they are for selfish reasons, without an educated cohort of South Africans? You can't import people from all over the place. I welcome the partnership with the Eastern Cape Department of Education and humbly request that it's allowed to continue. Thank you very much.
So we will also refer you to the district where you intend to have your partnership implemented.